All right, so next up we're gonna do the barbell upright row. So we're gonna use an easy bar, just meeting demands of the movement, it's just easier. It's nice on the wrist as well with a slightly cambered barbell there. Now, we were talking about this before we started filming as well. There's only so much like abduction of the humerus that you can do in a side raise movement. Like you've got dumbbell version, machine, and cable. So this is actually a really good movement for that medial head of the deltoid as well, which is responsible for like rounding the shoulder. Because we don't want to do too many like anterior shoulder movements, get a lot of work in pressing, front raising if you have like weak serratus or something like that you could use. But other than that, it's like to create that 3D look, we need to be working that medial head of the deltoid. So Ben's gonna Ben's gonna start the movement. Now the goal here is actually to get the elbow into alignment with the shoulder and kind of stack the shoulder, the elbow, shoulder, shoulder, elbow. Like, so we want a flat line almost. So Ben's really trying to like drag his elbows up and outwards. And as you guys can see, it's like this medial head of the deltoid is becoming the most prominent part of the shoulder in the movement. We're really trying to get up. Ben's in control of the move. He's slightly leaning forward like we spoke about before to access that medial part of the deltoid. Some of you guys might not have the mobility to meet the movement. You might have a pre-existing shoulder injury or something like that. So if you do, obviously work around that. You might not be able to do this movement in particular. But other than that, yeah, like we said, it's just another variation to kind of get that development in that medial head of the shoulder.
Let's talk about grip width.
Yeah, so grip width is actually really interesting. So the closer the grip, we can start to utilize more of like the upper middle traps, as well as like the medial head of the shoulder. If we go wider, we take the traps out of the movement, we really do start to isolate the deltoid as well. Tend to find when we go wider though, the demand on the shoulder mobility is much greater. So if you don't have that, like myself, like I would not have the ability to kind of do that, then I kind of just stick to that narrow position and just make sure I don't do too many of them because I don't want my traps becoming, too large.
Yeah, just that line of force is important, making sure that you're not like just pulling the bar up and losing all the load in the delt, like Jay said, that kind of slightly leant forwards, still loading.
Yeah, abducting.
The delt, not picking the bar up.
Yeah, that's it. The main driver, whenever we do movements for maximizing tension and work, isolating them is like we want to initiate with the target muscle. So if you're initiating with the wrist and pulling up and then the elbow is following, then you're not getting all the work done in the deltoid for this movement.